This is the Clubhouse Cafe Morning Show on Clubhouse Lounge Radio. I am Keith Gibson, your host, each and every weekday here on Clubhouse Lounge Radio in the mornings. And it is Thirsty Thursday, where we spotlight local musicians, artists, bartenders, bars, just the whole fun scene here in Central Illinois. With me today, though, is singer-songwriter Leighton Ewers. And Leighton, can I call you Lee? It's much easier to call you Lee. Lee Ewers is with us this morning. He's from Monticello, good friend of mine. He's also a paramedic, a dad. He's a jack of all trades, do a little bit of everything, but he's here to talk about his music today. So thank you for being here on the Clubhouse Cafe Morning Show, my friend.
Always a pleasure to hang out with you.
Yeah, we're sitting here in the Clubhouse Lounge Studio, and it's the morning. So let's tell, you're originally from here.
I am, born and raised.
Born and raised. You're a paramedic out at Kirby Medical Center, right?
Yep. I left there for a few years and came back.
Yeah. We're going to get into that here in a little bit this morning. We're going to talk about your music. We're going to talk about singing, songwriting. And we're going to talk about being a dad, because we're both dads, too. And that's something I know we both have in common.
Best job and hardest job in the world.
That is without a doubt. But let's talk a little bit about your upbringing. Born and raised here in Piatt County. Born and raised here, and you've stuck around. You work here. Now you're playing music here, not just here, but everywhere. Let's talk about what made you get into music.
Oh, man. I tell you, that starts with back when I was probably 14, 15. I was friends with a kid, and still friend of mine, Odie Duncan, in D-Land, and his dad had a guitar, and he would be sitting around the kitchen table, smoking cigarettes, drinking coffee, playing that guitar. And I remember he played me a song called Johnny and Mary, which is one of David Woolridge's songs. And I remember how well he painted that story from the get-go, and I just always knew that I wanted to write music. I just didn't know how, And it took me years to get into it, and it's so fun now that I've kind of broken through, you still have those writer slumps or writer block, but, it's taken me a while to get into it. Once I did, though, I can look back and thank the people that came before me.
I feel that. That, you got to learn, you grow and you learn, but that's where you got your start.
Yeah.
At what age? 14?
I think it was about 14 or 15. I didn't pick up the guitar till I was 17, as I say in Long Road.
Right.
But that's when I really got the first bite, is what my producer would call it.
All right. We're gonna leave it there. You're gonna stay with us all morning long, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I'll be here.
Lee's gonna be with us all morning long. We're gonna come back here on Thirsty Thursday on the Clubhouse Cafe Morning Show. Get to know him a little bit more, get to know his music a little bit more, and what makes the man tick. This is Clubhouse Lounge Radio's Clubhouse Cafe Morning Show. Back here on the Clubhouse Cafe Morning Show on Clubhouse Lounge Radio, it is Keith Gibson here with you. And joining me today on Thirsty Thursday, it's Lee Ewers, singer-songwriter from Monticello. And Lee, got to start, we talked earlier in the morning, you got to start around 14 years old, picked up your guitar at 17. We're not that young anymore, my friend. Lee, you're my age, right around there, but you have evolved from what got you in to now your own singer-songwriter. You're writing your own songs. You're singing, you're producing having your songs produced in Nashville, and we'll get to that here later in the morning. But let's talk about what really, like some of your first gigs. Where'd you first play at?
The Lucky Monkey was one of the very first places I played. And
that's down in B-Mint, right?
Yeah. B-Mint, they have great food.
They do.
As well. But I was playing with Joe Wood. I was in another band that didn't work out, and I started playing with Joe Wood, and she gave us our first real shot. And it kind of became my home bar. It's like, it's a local place. Everyone knows me around here, so it's a good place for me to play. And every time I play there, it seems like I pack the place by the end of the night.
Well, yeah, because everyone's going to see you. They know you. It's fun. That makes it fun.
Yeah.
Lucky Monkey is the only place I will eat fried mushrooms.
Ooh.
Only place.
They have everything's good there.
Yeah, it is fantastic. If you haven't been down to Lucky Monkey and B-Mint, get down there, try the food. Great atmosphere as well. And that's your home bar. And that's special to you to play.
Yeah.
And you play there. You try to play there often, right?
Once every 2 or 3 months. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I try to get back there, and I'm told every time that I play that it's hard to find a parking spot.
That's a good thing.
It is.
That makes you feel good too, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
So you played the Lucky Monkey to begin with. Got your start there with Joe Wood. And how have you evolved? And at what age was that? What age were you then?
Oh man, that wasn't too long ago because I took a hiatus from music from playing out for a long time because I played in a well, actually as I look back, I played in a band in 2003, and that was background noise, and that was at the Corner Tavern, which is now Legends Corner, or
Soon
going
to
to be
be.
open.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then, went on with music, and then life started about 25, so started having kids about, I think we were 30. And so I took a hiatus, for a while. You talk about being a dad, you really, when the kids are little, it's a lot of work.
It's
a lot of work
Yeah,
to put on one person. I was a paramedic, so I was working 24 on, 48 off. And so it made it a challenge to do both. So once the kids started getting older, I started getting back into it myself.
That's your passion, though. You love music.
I do.
And you can see it in your eyes. You can see it you can hear it in your voice. Music is something that I enjoy as well. I think that's why you and I get along so well. But being a dad, being a paramedic, you said 24 on,
48 off. Yeah.
48 off. So you work 24 straight, and then you're off for 48.
Yeah.
That's going to be tough, too. That's your sleep schedule.
It can be. It's a little bit better
Especially
here.
with youngins.
Yeah. But they're getting older. They're teenagers now, so they can help take care of themselves. And
That's not getting any younger either, though.
Yeah. Well, no, and you want to soak up every bit of time that you can with your kids, because before you know it, they're adults, and you'll know them as adults longer than you'll know them as kids.
Let's get to that. Let's come back here in a little bit. Let's get back to music, come back, and let's talk about how you got back into it after your hiatus. Sound like a plan?
Sounds good.
All right, this is the Clubhouse Cafe Morning Show on Clubhouse Lounge Radio. It is Thirsty Thursday on Clubhouse Lounge Radio, and it's a Clubhouse Cafe Morning Show. I am Keith Gibbs, your host, each and every weekday here on Clubhouse Lounge Radio, clubhouse217.com. Thank you for joining us this morning. Hope you're having a great Thursday. In the studio with me this morning is Leighton Ewers, singer-songwriter. We talked to Lee all morning long so far, and we've kind of found out that, you got your start at 14, kind of got the itch, took a hiatus for a little bit once you had kids and juggling everything. Let's talk about how you got back into it full swing, though. Where were you at? What did you do?
Ooh.
What made you get back into music after that little hiatus when the kids were younger? Full swing.
It was kind of a bitter start back to the music. It was fun at first. I started playing with a band called Three Gun Whiskey. It was a lot of fun. Just getting back out there and having the spotlight on you and playing, doing what you love to do. And then, there's a reason why bands that have been together for a long time are really just chugging along, because it's the chemistry in a band is really hard. So it didn't work out, let's just put it that way. And but then I started playing with Joe Wood and started writing my own music. And it almost took somebody to tell me, to give me the stamp of approval to to start writing my own music, because I wrote Gone Away first, and he looked at that and he's like, man, you got yourself a heck of a song. I'm like, all right, well, let's see what we can do with it. And it kind of morphed into what it is now, and it's still morphing, So then I started really getting a lot more confidence in my writing and things that I really was passionate about. The month of February is, if you listen to that song, it's a dreary time for me. And then, you just get your passion into putting the pen to the paper and writing down what you think in a music way.
Because your music, and I know it does, but your music comes a lot from your feelings, right?
Oh yeah.
At mine too. I get it. When you writing to me is very therapeutic as well. So when I'm writing, and I have a notebook of things that I've written. I love writing songs. I do, but I never can play a guitar. People who don't know me, when they first look at me and look at my fingers, know that the Vienna sausages cannot play guitars. But I enjoy writing because I can hear a melody. And you can feel it. Is that kind of when you're writing too? You feel it when you're writing?
Oh,
man. You kind of feel that beat. You kind of feel the
Sometimes
flow.
I just sit down and I'll go through some strings, and just sit there forever and play my guitar and see what kind of melody it's telling me. Or sometimes, it'll just come along with a thought and start that whole process. Every song starts a little bit different. Every song idea starts a little bit different.
If you hear a beat, if you hear a couple strings played and you're like, oh, does that kind of click things sometimes?
For me, it's more of I'll hear a line, what was it?
Hear something somebody says or something like that, and you're like,
Yeah.
Oh, I can run with that.
And it's actually this newest release that I got. You Gotta Be There. I was on the phone with my cousin because the song was written about the farm, and I was on the phone with my cousin. He lives there, and we were talking about it, and we were talking, and he said something about, it's nice for you guys to come down here or over here, because every time you do, you make me realize what I'm taking for granted, and that's where that bridge comes in. Don't take it for granted. Like just those little lines, and I'm like, oh, hang on a second, Virgil. I got to write this down. So go over and write it down real quick, and so it's never one in particular thing. It's just whenever it hits
you. Yeah. We'll get back to that. We're gonna get into some of your songs here soon. Some of your songs you wrote, some you've produced, and some of your favorite stuff too. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right, it's Lee Ewers, singer-songwriter from here in Monticello on Thursday on the Clubhouse Cafe morning show on Clubhouse Lounge Radio. This is the Clubhouse Cafe morning show on Clubhouse Lounge Radio. It is Thursday. I'm Keith Gibson, your host each and every weekday here for the Clubhouse Cafe morning show. With me this morning, Lee Ewers from Monticello, singer-songwriter, and Lee, you and I have known each other for a few years now. You have played Summer Shakedown 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that greatly. And your fantastic songs. I love that you bring energy every time you play somewhere. And you really bring the energy in your music, though, in your songs that you've written and produced. And the first song that you wrote and produced, though, and had played was what?
Gone Away.
Gone Away.
Yep.
Gone Away. So I listened to it a few times,
yeah.
Which is in rotation, by the way, on our local music spotlight, 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. right now. That's when it's playing right now on Clubhouse Lounge Radio. All these songs are there, so you can tune in and listen to him and the guys who play. But you and I got to know each other through Summer Shakedown 2. And because you're the one that said, let's do it.
Yeah.
You pushed, and I was like,
pushing you to do it.
I know. We got through 2, and I'm still on the fence about 3, but we talked the other day, and you're like, dude, you got to do it. I'm like, all right. And so we're thinking. We're on that edge, but let's talk about some of your songs. You started with Gone Away.
What can I do to push you?
I know.
Over the edge?
Yeah, right?
But we'll get there.
Yeah, you and about 6 other guys now that have mentioned it and said, hey, are you going to do that this year? And I don't know. We'll figure it out. But
well, let me break in there and just give you this little bit. That when you do this stuff, it not only gets us out there in front of people that came to hear us, but you're also showing other people, the listener, new music and music from this area, and in the words that, and the music that speaks their own language.
Right, and there's so much talent in Central Illinois, man. There is so much talent, between you and Jack Daniel, who just released a new album out too.
Just listen to that on the way here.
Yeah, you've got Sass is out there. You got David Woolridge,
Michael Dean
Lewis, who's got a brand new song out too, coming out, which is fantastic. Catlin Crozier, Zach Tompkins, all these guys.
Yeah, so why don't you want to do it?
That's a great question. We'll put something on. I'm sure. It's fun. It's fun for me too. But getting back to
the music.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this before we move forward. My favorite part of Summer Shakedown is seeing you guys interact with each other, because you don't get to see each other on the weekends because you're always playing different places.
Yeah.
That's the most joy I get out of that. But your music. So you started with Gone Away. What are some other songs that you have that you have written and now are produced and are out and people can listen to?
I think February is probably, because that's coming up and we're in that dreary time of year. When I wrote that, I was actually going through some pretty rough stuff, and I think it was a foreshadowing of the divorce that I went through and everything. But February seems to be always the time when things are starting to, like you're tired of being in the house. There's nothing to do. The holidays are over. Spring's on the horizon, but it's not quite here yet. So I don't think I said everything in the song of how I was feeling, but I think the song itself tells the story of how I feel about that. So I think that's one of my. It's a depressing song, yeah, but it's telling the story of this time of year. And so I really like how that whole song's constructed, and I love how it sounds when I play it live with a band.
And you play both. You do solo acoustics.
I do.
And you do some stuff with bands too.
I try to. With my schedule, it's hard to do, but
right.
Yeah.
It's fun. That's fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you prefer?
Both are equally as fun. I play well with others, but it's a lot easier for me to schedule my own shows, you know, because of how my schedule, because a lot of bands like to say, okay, we're practicing Tuesday night every week from this time to this time. And with my schedule, I can't promise you that.
Right, because you're 24 on, 48 off. It's a paramedic.
So it's a rotating shift.
Right.
So, you know, just it's because of that schedule and not wanting to force other guys to move their schedule around. I like to play by myself, but I love to play with a band. I love to just mess around. I love going to
that's what she said. On that note, let's take a quick break. We'll get you back to the music, and we'll come back with Lee here later on in the morning. And we're going to talk about some of his favorite places to play. We're going to talk about his music a little bit more, and we're going to get to know him a little bit more as well. This is the Clubhouse Cafe Morning Show on Clubhouse Lounge Radio. It's the Clubhouse Cafe Morning Show on Clubhouse Lounge Radio, clubhouse217.com. You can catch the morning show every weekday, Monday through Friday on Clubhouse Lounge Radio. With me this morning, it's Thursday is Lee Ewers. And Lee, we talked earlier in the morning. We talked all morning. Thank you for being here with us on this Thursday morning.
Thank you for having me.
We've talked this morning about a little bit about your music. We've talked about how we met and where you came from and how you took a hiatus and a little bit of everything. And for those who have missed a part of that this morning, you can always catch it on our YouTube channel coming up. We'll post it next week at some point in time, so you can listen to the whole our conversation here on the morning show. But let's talk a little about your music places you like to play. You said you like to play a little bit by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not touching that again, but here we go. Mm-hmm. And you like to play with a band. But where are some favorite places you like to play acoustic shows at?
My acoustic shows, 1905, I just played there last Saturday. Had a great show.
That's an assumption, right?
It's an assumption. And, you know, it's a beautiful place, too. Like, every time somebody makes a travel to come down there and see me, they're like, wow, what a nice place. And not only that, they have great craft beer. But it's the families that you...
Which is pertinent on a Thursday.
Yeah, exactly. Find the good craft beer. Riggs is another place that I like to play. But what I think is the most fun, and it doesn't just single out the bars, it's the places that you play that you build a following, but the following isn't just a following, it becomes a family. You show up to these places and it's the same people that are showing up every time and bringing their friends, and so you know the family just gets bigger. Like the Joe Stam, you know, like he calls it the Stanley.
Yeah.
You know, and I 100% agree with that, because I mean it does become a family. You know, people identify with you. You know, and I go around and sit at the tables and talk to people and get to know them.
They want to get to know you on a personal basis.
Yeah.
And not just a guy who's up there playing guitar and singing.
Yeah.
They want to get to know you. And I agree. That's part of the reason we put Summer Shakedown together is, and not to go back to it, but that's part of the reason I do it, because so you guys can hang out.
Yeah.
So people can get to actually know you and hear your music, because let's face it, in today's age and money's tight in a lot of places, people don't go out as often as they used to.
Mm-hmm.
And you're probably seeing that when you play. Am I wrong or right? But you've got your dedicated followers as well.
Yeah. And that is very important, you know, to have those dedicated followers, and not just, it's like I said, it's not followers or fans or anything. It's more people that just identify with you. I don't like to say followers or fans, because that makes me sound, I don't know, in my words, I guess, pompous, but, you know, just people that identify with the stuff you're writing and putting out there. And that's what I love, is if I've touched a chord. Gone Away is another song that I've had several people that have been going through divorces or, you know, breakups or whatever, and said, man, your song helped me get through this particular part in my life. I knew that I wasn't going there alone. I had your song, and man, I can't tell you how much that means.
And that hits you right in the heart.
Oh yeah, it does.
And it makes you maybe puff up a little bit too, a little proud, you know, what you did. But no, it is awesome, and because people do identify so much with music. I myself, I can hear songs all day long, and I do. But when I hear a lyric or a lyrics to a particular song that touches maybe what I'm going through, maybe I'm having a rough day, maybe, you know, I haven't done the laundry, got the laundry out of the dryer for 3 days, and you know, somebody's on me. I don't know. You know.
Well, you know, the other song that I've got out, the one that I just released this last summer, You Gotta Be There, it has been more relatable than I could ever understand, because the amount of people that remember having large portions of land in their family, and Grandpa farmed that, my dad farmed it. And then when it gets down to, you know, like these generations, people are like, well, the money's, I'm not farming, so I'm just going to, you know, get rid of the land, which my farm is, you know, my family farm is stuck together.
Right.
And people identify with this song, and especially the video. You know, the video I'm very proud of. Get on Facebook. It's only on Facebook right now on my Facebook page, on my my studio's Facebook page, but it's on there, and all of that you see in that video is all my family land. We shot out everything, and that's my cousins, and you know, the whole family in the video. But people relate to that song.
Well, they relate to it partly because it is Central Illinois. A lot of people have farms. A lot of people love big families, gatherings, and so it's very relatable to the listeners, and not just people who have listened to your music before, but everyone.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows somebody who's farmed.
Yeah.
Everybody knows somebody who has a family.
You have that place. Like,
right.
Even if it's around here, Allerton Park is that place for some people.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So, you know, sit up on top of that hill, you know, it's just people are they can relate with it.
Let's take a quick break, get back to the music a little bit. You gonna stick around for a little bit longer?
We'll see it. Yeah.
All right. We'll be back in just a little bit more with Lee on Thursday on the Clubhouse Cafe Morning Show. This is the Clubhouse Cafe Morning Show on Clubhouse Lounge Radio. Thank you for joining us on this Thursday morning. With me is Leighton Ewers, singer-songwriter from Monticello. And Lee, you and I have been friends for a while now. You've performed at a couple shows. We put on Summer Shakedown. It happens every year, and we're still on the fence where we're doing 3. I know you're pushing.
I'm going to push.
I know you're going to push, but, you know, there are some very talented artists in Central Illinois. I mean, talented.
Yeah.
And you get enjoy playing with those guys. You became friends with those. It's really when you become a musician here in Central Illinois, you really kind of grow a family, kind of a tight bond with these other musicians.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there were so many guys out there, like you mentioned earlier, David Woolridge.
David Woolridge is one of my very first inspirations, and I'm telling you, every one of these guys, no matter if they're older than me or younger than me, we all inspire each other. And I think that's the way it should be. It's not a competition because everybody has their specialties.
Right.
You know, like Jack, I was just listening to his album, his new album on the way here, and I was just thinking, man, that guy is such a great lyricist. You know, if you sit down and listen to it, you know, like singer-songwriter, if you like, what's the name I'm thinking of? He does the Towns Van Zandt, you know, he does like that kind of singer-songwriter stuff, but he has great lyrics.
He does, and he's so talented too.
Yeah,
and he's such a great guy.
And
I mean,
promotes.
Jack is a fantastic. I love that he calls me Bubba.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how I know somebody's a good person when you call me Bubba.
Yeah,
and you're good people, as I like to say.
So watching everybody else put out their music, like Michael Dean just put out another song. You know, he's doing singles at a time. But what a great song he's got out, you know, with Last Guy.
Yeah, that, you know, and then Hello Mississippi just came out, 6 months ago or so?
Yeah.
My daughter still asked to play that.
Yeah.
She wants to hear Hello Mississippi, so there's so much talent there from Michael Dean. And he's traveling all over right now, too, playing.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at these posters you got on the wall, you know, I mean, you've had some great headliners, but you're watching these guys, Colton Taylor's another one. He's coming up, you know, Josh Holland's coming up. I mean, all these guys, Sass, oh my God, how much talent she has.
Oh, she's so much fun too. So, talk about Heart of Gold.
Yeah.
And she is an amazing, amazing person because she can play everything from Salt and Pepper to she can tone it down and play.
I'm telling you, you got to get out and see a show of hers.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a party night, you know, get out and see a show of hers. She's got such great energy.
She does. Her energy's through.
She was playing with Mank. I mean, that dude just hitting the bass, and like those two together were just gold. But I mean, her alone, she's gold.
Yes.
So, you know, I mean, just looking at these posters though, and seeing all these musicians and artists that you've got and that you found. And this is why I keep on pushing you to do another one. I know it's scary, but you know, I mean, let's push you over the edge. But you know, but the people around here, the people that I'm playing with, are my inspirations. Because a lot of people will say, you know, Travis Tritt. Well, I like to do Travis Tritt. I got a great voice for Travis Tritt. But it's the people that I know and knowing their stories that inspire me to keep on doing what I'm doing, and actually put the pressure on me to keep going. And
that's a great thing there, and I want to talk about that a little bit. What drives you to keep going? What is your end goal?
To not quit? Man, I don't know that I have an end goal. I think a lot of people, and I remember our interview, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, you were one of my first ones to do Backroads and Barstool sessions.
So that interview, you asked me what stage I wanted to play on, and of course, you know, everybody wants to play on the Grand Ole Opry. But in all actuality, I don't think that there's a stage that I want to go where the music takes me. And in Jim Croce's words, if it takes me nowhere, I'll go there proud. So, if I don't want to be famous, but if I don't ever make breakthrough song or whatever, I'll go there proud because I'm just proud of what I'm doing.
And you should be. You're very talented, singer-songwriter. You're a great guy too. We talked about earlier in the morning. You juggle being not only a singer-songwriter, musician playing on the weekends, but you're a paramedic and you're a dad. And that's a job in itself. We both know that as we're both fathers. But you should be proud of what you do, man. We're gonna come back though here in a few and talk about some of your latest stuff you've done, where people can find you, and a couple other questions I got for you too. Stick around with me.
All right.
Trust me?
Let's do it.
All right. This is the Clubhouse Cafe Morning Show on Clubhouse Lounge Radio. It is the 10 o'clock hour here on the Clubhouse Cafe Morning Show. Keith Gibson here with you as I am each and every weekday, Monday through Friday. We've got the Clubhouse Cafe Morning Show for you on Clubhouse Lounge Radio. Tomorrow we'll have Brendan Kelm from Raven Mechanical on our Friend Friday. We hope you enjoyed our guests so far this week. But with me right now in the Clubhouse Lounge studio on this Thirsty Thursday is Leighton Ewers. He's been with us all morning. Lee's a singer-songwriter from Monticello. And Lee, we were kind of talking there when the music was playing and off air. And I asked you, I said, all right, I love music. I know all you guys have different guitars.
Mm-hmm.
How do you choose a guitar? Because they're not all the same.
I think when it came into it, I remember when I first started playing, I think Martin was the guitar that my mentor, Brian Duncan, he always loved Martin. He never owned one, not to my knowledge anyway. He played a Washburn. But I started picking up Martins when I would go shopping, see what I wanted. But man, those things were you're talking about $3,000 to $4,000 for a guitar. And at that time, when you're not working, you're not doing it,
right? Then
it's really hard to justify spending that much money on a guitar. But a nice guitar it doesn't make you sound better. It inspires you to play more. So I got myself a Martin D18. My first Martin was a Martin D18, and I just love that guitar.
And how long have you had it?
About 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's been on a journey with you then.
Yeah. And the wood, the wood and the age and everything of a guitar changes everything. When you get into vintage guitars, you can go $25,000, $40,000 on a guitar. Yeah. No kidding. But it shows. And when you I go to Carter's when I go to Nashville, if I can make it there, and I'll sit back there in the high-end room and play those old D28s. And the Christmas, you can just hear its story. So there's a story.
A different sound to each guitar.
Yeah. In there. And what's amazing about instruments is the stories, is the life that they live themselves. And when you get into those higher end guitars, that guitar, it'll last forever. You take care of it and pass it on to the right hands, it lasts forever. I've got an old violin that was handed to me from my grandmother. I don't play violin per se. I practice and make squealing sounds on it, but it's from the 1860s.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so it came down through generations. It came over from East Germany, and imagine the stories that violin could tell. And that's what that's what we do with these guitars. This last one that I just bought a couple days ago, I finally got myself a J45.
What brand is that?
It's a Gibson.
Pete
Gibson.
That's right.
But I got myself a J45 finally, and those things are workhorses. They can take the wear of the road, and they can still come out sounding beautiful.
Because now you're you're doing how many shows a year now?
Oh man, I'd have to look at my calendar.
20?
No, I'm higher than that.
30?
Probably about 40-ish, 40 a year, so I'm not real high. I'm not playing every weekend, I got a life to live and everything else.
Right, but there's only 52 weeks in a year, my friend.
Yeah,
so you're playing 3/4 of the year.
Yeah.
And so you need something that's going to be a workhorse.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
congratulations to you, because you've earned it.
Thank you.
Let's put that out there. You've earned that.
Thank you.
Because you have, just from knowing you over the last 3-4 years, you have really evolved yourself as a musician as well.
Yeah.
And
as
grown.
As you are with this radio station.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It's a hard work though, right?
Yeah.
You put the work in, you're gonna get the fruits of your labor.
Well, my grandpa said, my grandpa Ewers said, if you find a job that you love, you'll never work another day in your life.
That's correct, my friend.
Right.
He was a very wise man.
He was.
Those old guys, they know what they're talking about usually.
Yeah, they do.
All right, we're going to wrap things up with Lee here in just a little bit. We're going to get you back to the music, and we'll be back here on the Clubhouse Cafe Morning Show on Clubhouse Lounge Radio. Wrapping up the Thirsty Thursday edition of the Clubhouse Cafe Morning Show. I'm Keith Gibson here with you each and every weekday morning. With me in the Clubhouse Lounge studio this morning is Lee Ewers. Lee is a singer-songwriter from Monticello, very talented. And Lee, you can hear your music, your originals,
Yep, I got
all over the place, all over the social media platforms, from Spotify, YouTube, right?
Pandora, I mean, all that stuff. Spotify, Pandora, YouTube. I listen to iTunes a lot, but that's just because I pay for it every month.
Well, you might as well listen if you're going to pay for it.
Right. So, just whenever you put stuff out there, we use these vendors or distributions that put it out everywhere. So you can find me anywhere you listen. You can also find where I'm going to be playing. The most reliable source to find where I'm going to be playing is on my website, LeightonEwers.com.
That's LeightonEwers.com.
Yep. And so whenever I book a show, I put it immediately on there. And if you want to get a hold of me to book a show, Leighton Ewers at Gmail.
Perfect. So you can get email, you go to the website.
Yep.
I'm sure you can get a hold of you through Facebook as well.
You can contact me through Facebook, send a telegram, whatever you got to do.
Whatever you got to do, that's right.
I'm looking to book into my spring and summer right now, so please get a hold of me and book early. I know once we get into February, I start booking like crazy, and right now I got a blank slate.
So what do you tell me? If I decide to do a summer shakedown 3, you're in?
I'm in.
There we go. That's
Definitely.
all I needed to know. That's all I need to know.
I can almost close my eyes and see that summer day right now.
I hope. Yeah, because the snow we've had here lately and everything, I'm ready for it, my friend. I'm ready for some outdoor shows. Indoor, outdoor, which do you prefer?
Oh, it just depends on the time of year. I mean, if it's summertime and it's or spring or summer, fall is beautiful. But I like to play outside because that means the weather's nice.
Right. That's how I am. That's why I enjoy outside venues. We always go to Bargenta, who has a great outdoor venue. Buford has an outdoor venue.
1905.
1905. There are so many great venues out here, and we haven't even touched the surface of how many there are there. But what do you got coming up? Where are you playing next?
My next show will be at the Lucky Monkey on February 15th.
Oh, going home.
7 to 10. Go to my home bar.
Valentine's Day weekend, ladies and gentlemen. So go see Lee. Listen to his great music, and go spend an evening at the Lucky Monkey with great food.
Yeah, come on down a little bit early. Catch yourself a seat. I mean, usually when I'm playing there, it fills up pretty darn quick. So get yourself a table and stick around for some food and some great drinks afterwards.
I think that sounds like a great plan, my friend. Well, thank you for being here in the Clubhouse Lounge studios
today. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for coming in always. Thank you for everything you do to support the station, Clubhouse Lounge Radio, and myself and my family, because we appreciate you way more than you know. And we're gonna support you wholeheartedly.
Thank you for what you do with music. We all appreciate it very much.
Well, I love it, man. It's fun. It's fun with you guys. Are fantastic people, and I'm hoping to broaden the horizon a little more this year. And you can listen to Lee's music on all those places, social media platforms, Spotify, Pandora, all that. You can also tune in on Clubhouse Lounge Radio for our local music spotlight. Here is music in rotation.
One thing I want to add real quick before we get off
here. Yes.
If you want to find great music, go out and search for it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can listen to the mainstream music, and I will not dog those guys in raw country and all that stuff. But if you want to find good music, go out there and look for it. It's out there.
It is, without a doubt. And there's a lot of it here in Central Illinois.
Don't be force-fed your music. Look for it.
That is Lee Ewers, singer-songwriter here in Monticello. Make sure you catch him February 15th at Lucky Monkey. This is the Clubhouse Cafe Morning Show. Have a great rest of your Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you tomorrow morning with Friends Friday with Brendan Kelm from Raven Mechanical. Have a great day, everybody.